Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
You're listening to the Goof Norton Radio Show.
He's the best of the best of the best.
He has a wonderful voice.
If you don't like him, I'm sure your sister will.
Hey, babe, you want to go out?
Hello everybody, my name is Goof Norton and welcome back to another broadcast of the Goof Norton Radio Show. This is episode number 31, and I have a new mic if you can't tell. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit clearer. This one actually sounds pretty crisp and pretty nice. Well, in terms of my standards for what I need it for, it works pretty well. So today we have two topics from two people, of course. The first topic I will talk about today is Pokemon.
What do you
in terms of my favorite games, my favorite Pokemon, most hated gym battles from the games, best to worst experiences of, or that sort of thing. And that comes from the Boss Gaming, so thank you for that topic, sir.
Yeah, very nice.
Pokemon. Where do I start?
Pokemon was the Pokemon.
Something that has been a part of my childhood. You know, I kind of grew up on Pokemon. I grew up with the games. I love Pokemon. It's still one of my favorite games. It's one of those games that I can never stop playing. You know, I don't really get sick of it. Right now, I am currently in the process of playing through Pokemon Fire Red, which I have actually never played before. That's not English. I've never played the game before, and so far I'm loving it. You know, I'm liking it because it's one of those games where even though the game is kind of the same as any Pokemon game would pretty much be, I'm invested into it. You know, because the thing that happens with me in Pokemon games is once I start, I can't stop.
I turn it on.
You know, I have to finish the game, or at least get to a certain point where I'm like, okay, this is a good place to stop, and then I'll stop. But once I start, I will not stop until I find a suitable place for me to call it quits. So yeah, that's that's how I play Pokemon games. And
We'll do it live.
That's how I've always been with Pokemon games. Like the only Pokemon game I own currently is Pokemon Crystal, and that's on my Game Boy Advance. I've beaten that game at least 5 times. And I mean, that's what I mean by I can't stop playing it. Once I start it, I can't stop. It just keeps going and going and going.
All day.
Some of my favorite Pokemon some of my favorite Pokemon games, Pokemon Stadium 2 on the N64. That is actually one of the newer ones that have been added to my list of likable Pokemon games. Pokemon Crystal, of course, because it has oh boy,
Why not, eh?
I can't. Suicune. I almost couldn't remember the name, and
You suck.
I guess Pokemon Fire Red would be on that list too. And Pokemon Silver and Gold, which I have yet to play though, but they're on that list because I think those are the ones that you can get to Red in. That's also another thing in Pokemon that I love. The fact that you get to face Red, because some people don't really know about the story of Red. I didn't for a while until I, just somehow came upon it when I was watching YouTube videos, because that happens on YouTube. You watch one video and somehow you're looking up a video on how to how to fix a computer, and then you end up on like kittens and stuff. So somehow I ended up on the whole Red story. And
it's almost guaranteed to be a good time.
Actually. And in Fire Red, basically, you're playing as Red, the trainer, which is a very enjoyable experience, which is, the reason you get to choose Charizard, or Charmander, as your starter. So, yeah, those are my favorite Pokemon games. In terms of favorite Pokemon, Quilava would have to be at the top of my list. Honestly, I love Quilava, Cyndaquil, Typhlosion, that whole line of evolutions. Very lovable. In my case, because that's all I would play with in Crystal. Fire types are always number one choice for me over any other type. Fire types are priorities. There is a website called PokemonShowdown.com. Now I know some of you may know about it, but those of you who don't, I'll leave that link below, and you can go play that because it is a really fun game. And here's the best part about it: it literally gives you every Pokemon from first generation till now, and you can make classes of not classes of Pokemon, but you can make your own parties. Of course, up to 6 Pokemon. There's categories like randoms where you can just, play against random people, of course, as with any battle, and you get a random party of Pokemon. And there are a variety of Pokemon I didn't even know about because I really don't know any Pokemon past Generation 4. Because I didn't really have any Pokemon games on my DSi or DS or whatever. Well, my DSi, that's all I owned. So I didn't have any Pokemon games on there. So anything past like 3rd, 4th generation is lost to me. The only reason I know about the other generations is because of Pokemon Showdown. And when you play that and then you go back to play a normal game, I can guarantee you'll be 100% better. At least 90% better, because it really teaches you about strategy and other things and types and all that stuff. And when you get to like a regular Pokemon game, you feel like a god. Basically, you're like Superman to these people. You can do anything. You're all powerful and all knowing. It's so amazing. It's a really cool feeling. But that's just a nerd kind of thing for me. But yeah, I mean, it's really a fun experience switching between the two. Because when you switch from a regular Pokemon game back to Showdown, you're like, I don't know crap. But when you switch from Pokemon Showdown to a regular Pokemon game, you're like, wow, I know everything. Yeah. So go check it out if you haven't already. It's honestly worth your time. The site did get updated because they added the Sun and Moon. Did they add the Sun and Moon generations? Or the Pokemon? I think they did, because I saw some different colored Pokemon which are in Sun and Moon. So I'll have to recheck that. But I'm sure they did. My most hated gym battles would have to be from Red when I faced Brock, and what was the other one? In Crystal, there's a dragon type gym leader. I know her. I forget her name, but that was an annoying gym. But I don't really have hated gym battles. Honestly, I don't really have many that I can't beat or haven't beaten with, great difficulty. Honestly, Brock was the hardest one because it was the first one. Of course, it took me forever. Hated it. But any other time, gym battle is pretty normal for me. I don't really hate any. Because here's the thing with me and my Typhlosion, I crushed the competition with Typhlosion. One time, I took on an entire gym with just my Typhlosion, and that's it. I didn't have to leave to heal. It was easy peasy. Oh no, I just remembered. Oh my gosh. If any of you have played Crystal, I think it's in Silver and Gold as well. In Goldenrod City, the gym leader there, who was normal types, that pissed me off. That really got to me, because Milk Tank is the most annoying thing to fight. I don't care what type you have, it's the most annoying thing to fight. Oh man. Frustration. I think I almost rage quit one time. Because it kept healing and roll out and all that nonsense, and then I had my Typhlosion learn rollout, which is convenient. And I'm not lying about this. This is honestly true. And that's how I ended up beating Milk Tank, because I think that was honestly the biggest challenge of the whole game. After that, everything was like, oh, whatever. I've been through worse. So yeah. Best to worst experiences. I didn't really have any worst experiences with Pokemon as to date. Best experiences, I mean, anytime I get to play. Really, anytime I get to play Pokemon, it's a good experience. There's never really a bad time or a sad time with Pokemon. I mean, there were a few times where I was just like, it wasn't that good, but it was still okay. When I played, I live streamed Pokemon, not Pokemon Showdown, Pokemon Stadium 2 from the N64. And I was playing through, I was just going through people beating battles and getting badges and stuff like that. And it came down to the last opponent, and I lost, and I had no more continues. That was a bit frustrating, but I wouldn't say that was a worst time. That was a really bad time. I mean, I still enjoyed it, because up until then, I was like, yeah. I struggled a little bit before the 2 battles before that, but then I got back on my feet and immediately just kicked butt. Because that's what happens in Pokemon. You either beat people or you get beaten. It's a kill or be killed world. So that's all I have for Pokemon. On to our next topic, which comes from Dylan Kahi. I'm just gonna call you Dylan because I don't want to mess up your last name, which I probably already did. He wants me to compare YouTube and TV, aka Hollywood, talk about how YouTube, etc., can become better or even turn bad, such as how YouTubers can lose the rights for what they put in their videos. Okay, so comparing YouTube and TV, aka Hollywood. Okay, comparing YouTube and TV in general, I think YouTube is actually starting to be a big competitor with TV, because I find myself not even watching TV anymore as much, because it's cut down by at least 80%. My TV watching time, and I spend most of my time that I would watching TV on YouTube, because there's such a wide variety of content that you can watch, like from music videos to how-tos to let's plays, and I listen to podcasts on YouTube and everything like that. Of course, I watch let's plays and all that stuff. Sometimes I watch how-tos. There's animations and other stuff like that. Music videos, because I love music. There's just a lot of stuff to watch on YouTube. And the part that makes people more interested in watching YouTube and TV is that you can choose what you want to watch. If you don't like a part of a show or something that someone does on YouTube, you can skip forward or just skip the video entirely. Not have to sit through it, not have to channel surf or anything like that. And I do admit, sometimes when you watch YouTube too much, you do end up technically channel surfing, because you just go about watching different videos, because somehow I'm to a point where I'm literally I just finished watching yesterday a documentary about John Madden. For those of you who don't know, that's a very famous coach in the NFL, the National Football League. He coached the Oakland Raiders. He was supposed to have a football career at playing, but he injured his left knee, I believe it was, and that pretty much cut his playing career. And then he just went into coaching, and then he is a very famous commentator for NFL, and also the whole Madden football series. Yeah, that's because of him. I watched the documentary on how they came up with that name and how they revolutionized the Madden football series. So that by itself tells you the power of YouTube compared to TV. TV doesn't really compete as much, except for the fact that there are things you obviously can't put on YouTube, like full episodes of Family Guy, full episodes of The Simpsons, full episodes of Switched at Birth or whatever shows they're on nowadays. you can't get full episodes up without having to pay for it on YouTube. Personally, I watch stuff on Netflix as well, but still, even at that, there's still funny moment compilations on YouTube, Family Guy, that are like an hour long, 50 minutes long, 40 minutes long, which fills an entire episode slot normally for TV time. And that's where I think YouTube has the advantage. You can watch pretty much whatever you want, whenever you want. There's movies on there. Before YouTube got in this whole copyright thing, I was able to watch a bunch of stuff. I was able to watch wrestling matches that were like pay-per-views, full, and no distorted audio, and no what's the word I'm looking for? No resized screen to be smaller, so that way they wouldn't get in trouble for copyright. I could watch them at regular screen size and regular speed and regular audio level, and that's it. That'd be it. But now YouTube has changed so much where copyright has become a bigger part, and I kind of hate it, honestly, because there's stuff now you just can't post because YouTube's gonna get me. It's freaking terrible. YouTube's like big brother now, messing with everybody's business, honestly. And I think that some of the people who are posting copyrighted stuff, they shouldn't get really copyright struck. It depends on what they're using it for. Like, I use copyrighted music sometimes for my podcast, and technically you can only use 10 seconds of a song that is copyrighted before of course before they like, okay, we're gonna start getting our money for that. That's why you may see ads on some of my videos. It's not me. I'm not monetizing my videos because I don't want to. It's because the companies and businesses and whatever have been like, we're gonna claim some AdSense. We're gonna claim some money on that. So we're gonna monetize these videos instead of you doing that, so we can get our paycheck. Even though they're still probably making money, not even from that. They're probably still making money from sales. So it's kind of ridiculous, honestly, in my opinion. YouTubers are just getting struck with all these copyright notices and all that stuff, and it's just ridiculous. Like, I was playing The Adventures of Link, the original Legend of Zelda games, The Adventures of Link, and I got copyrighted for the music. Like, Nintendo, that's an old game that you guys no longer sell. Why are you still trying to make money off of it? That game has been out of stock, out of stores for years. The only stores that really sell those are stores that buy old games from people. So it's kind of confusing on why would you even still try to make money off of the music? Like, it's ridiculous. I don't get called for for Mario Kart N64. I don't know why, but I'm not complaining. It's good for me. But any other Mario game and other stuff like that, it's really they're just really on you about that. And the music, especially the music, that's the worst part. You can't get away with playing any, and I only use the music for 30 seconds. Like, I'm not taking credit, and even though I could even say like, hey, this music is not mine, but they'll still get me on copyright. I don't understand that. Like in the last podcast in episode 30, people who make original content have to compete with all these copyrighted, and I'm looking I'm looking at my videos who have copyright claims on them. My channel intro, the new channel intro that uses the instrumental, the complete instrumental for Coldplay's Viva La Vida. A very iconic song, but it's just the instrumental. It's not the actual lyrics or anything that are in there. It's so stupid. I got copyrighted for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, even though I've been doing that series now for a while. I apparently got copyrighted for music and when I was playing Minecraft. I'm sorry, what? Oh, that's why, because I had the London Symphony Orchestra's music going on in the background because I think that was around Christmas time. Yeah, it was December 18th. Don't open Minecraft now. I got copyrighted for Super Mario Kart on the NES. I can't remember if that was the SNES or the NES. Either way. Let's see, the Goof Norton Radio Show number 27. Oh, got copyrighted by... Oh, yes. That's the other... those are the other people who do music besides Vivo professionally. Topic. Topic has been taking over. For some strange reason, I've been noticing them more and more and more. Because I go to look up old songs that I haven't heard in a while, and now there's Topic covers of them. Where the audio was supposedly... It's supposed to be like crystal clear, you know, and high quality sound. But it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. And I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do about that kind of stuff. Like, it's all copyrighted, and I hate it. I understand it's musicians trying to make money, but even some of these musicians are dead. So who's the money going to? Because sometimes I know it's not going to the family. I can say that loud and proud. Sometimes I know it's not going to the family. It's just some stingy company trying to make a quick buck that they already have. You know, they have money to spare. But, you know, I'm going to stop whining about it now. I'm going to let you guys go on with the rest of your day. So thank you everybody so much for listening to this podcast. Oh boy, it has been a long day for me. I just kind of want to go to sleep and wake up tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow will be a better day for me. But if you guys have any topic suggestions for the next podcast or next podcasts, you know, I'll keep doing the series, obviously. Please tell me in the comments. You know, contact me on social media. Tweet me at Mr. Goofo2 at Twitter. Find me on Facebook, Goof Norton YouTube, Goof Norton -YouTube. Sorry. And I usually respond within a couple days. If not, then I'll hopefully get notified and get your suggestions. But I use all topics. You know, no topics are thrown away unless they're not good or not specific enough. And if they're not specific enough, I'll tell you. I'll be like, can we get a little bit more specific? Like the Pokemon topic, I was like, well, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. Like, I'm not gonna do an hour-long podcast about just Pokemon. So I asked for it to be like more specific, like specifically what, you know, and it wasn't really that hard to come up with something. You know, the guy came up with something really quickly, in a fair amount of time. You know, and it wasn't a hard process, honestly. But if you're gonna do that, be specific, please. That's just for my benefit, so I can get a better, understanding of what you want me to talk about. Because when I do talk about the topic and I don't talk about what you want me to talk about, then, I mean, you can't really get mad at me because I was like, that's not specific enough. You know, there's 1,000 things I can talk about with that topic. So please be sort of specific, at least to the point where I can figure out, okay, that's what he's trying to get me to talk about. That's all I ask. So yeah, check me out on social media. Check out some of the other videos I did. Check out some of the older podcasts. Some of them are actually pretty good. The other ones are sometimes crap. But yeah, anyway, thank everybody so much for listening. Hopefully this copyright thing will get sorted out and we'll have our little freedoms back again, because I'm gonna keep using copyrighted music in my podcasts. I'm not gonna stop, and I don't own any music, obviously. Like, there's no way I can produce this kind of music, the good quality music that these guys do professionally. I can say, I don't own it as many times as I want, but they'll still be douchebags about it. So again, thanks guys for listening, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.